Welcome to the Justin Hamilton podcast. Today, we're starting off a few little specials that I'm going to do in the lead up to the end of the year. Basically, as we get towards December, I'm starting to think about favorite movies and favorite books and, everything that I've consumed for the year, the stuff that really stood out for me. And I thought it would be fun to get some guests in who can talk about what they've loved in different genres and different categories, and then maybe that'll have an influence on me. Maybe it'll just be interesting to see what other people are thinking. And today, the guest that we have is the someone that I work with on the Chase Australia, Mara Lejins, and she's never been on the podcast before, so I thought I would get her in. We talk movies all the time. And I thought that she would be fun to have a chat with, and she does not disappoint. Uh, Two quick things. We had some tech issues. Just one of those things where, things just kind of go a little bit wrong. So the video's a little bit stop-starty, and we've had to go with the different sort of audio. So apologies for that, but these things happen, but it doesn't detract from what Mara brings to the table. Just quickly as well, a big shout out to our sponsor. The podcast has a sponsor for the rest of the year, and it is Wonder Pies. They make some of the most delicious pastries in Australia. They're based in Victoria, so you can find their food all around the state in different cafes. But you can also order from them online. So if you're curious to check out what their product is like, head to wonderpies.com.au and you'll be able to find all sorts of different treats. And by the way, if, like Mara and I, you are vegetarian, there are some delicious vegetarian options there as well. So thank you to Wonder Pies for coming on board. I've got some other things to have a little chat to you about, but I'll jump up at the end. So let's get to the good part of the podcast, the bit that you're tuning in for, and let's bring Mara in. We'll have a little chat about her career, and then we will discuss her 5 favorite films for 2025. I'll see you after I'm finished with Mara.
Something that we've never really talked about because we just kind of started working together, and the fact that you kind of got your big start on Beat the Chase, which is like a spin-off of The Chaser. But something we've never talked about, did you do any kind of performance arts at school, or did you do anything before you ended up on TV?
No, I remember in junior school I used to do drama, and
Yeah.
I think I always got given the main parts, but it wasn't because I was particularly good. I was just the one who was able to remember all the lines. My
Oh,
mum, my mum used to say I'd be in the back just going "Meh, meh, 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 meh," mouthing the words from everyone else. Um,
oh.
yeah, so I loved drama at school, but I didn't keep doing it. I was more of I don't know if you know much about the Chase, but it's full of really cool people who aren't nerdy at all. But it's more into orchestra and debating and all that stuff. So no, I'm very lucky that they've managed to put up with me on the Chase despite my
That,
lack of
well,
performance.
that's quite interesting, though, isn't it? Like the fact that you if you'd wanted to pursue it, you could have actually been one of these people who does all the works of Shakespeare in 60 minutes.
What's that movie with that like anthology movie where it's in the Wild West and there's the dude with no arms and no legs and he like does all the
Oh,
shakes
Buster Scruggs.
and then like Liam Neeson like leaves him to die. When you said that, that's all I could think of is I could be like the arms dude on Buster
Yeah,
Scruggs.
I think that would
Is that
work
too niche?
perfectly. No, I love it. And then, so
Hmm.
you were always into quizzing before you did Beat the Chase, or was it something that someone pointed out that you were good at?
I think always had a sticky brain, which I think is a good way of putting it. Always had good recall. And when you notice you're good at stuff, you do it more. And so, like, I was, obviously good at high school. Well, obviously, but I was always did well at school, but I always
Mm.
aced, whenever they were, those tests where you're just remembering stuff, history exams, just remembering stuff. Always aced that. And then, when always like the weekend quizzes. So then when I went to uni, my friends and I went to pub trivia and I always really liked it and found I was quite good. And when you're good at something, you do it more. So you become better at it. And then when you're better at something, you enjoy it even more because you're better at it. So it just keeps perpetuating. So my friends encouraged me to apply for the show. And I was such a massive nerd that instead of treating it like, oh, this is so fun, like, wow, I'll just see how I go, I was like, I'm going to win money. I'm going to study. I'm going to like, I remember watching the shows and like learning the way the questions were phrased and like practicing the format, practicing what decisions I was going to make. So by the time I came on, I was ready to go. But yeah, no, I've always liked trivia, and I think I've got a curious mind, and that does a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of learning things.
Okay, so that was also your first time in a 2V studio when you did Beat the Chase.
No, actually, I was on the chase first.
Oh, were you on the chase first? I didn't realize that.
When I was like 20 or 21.
Yeah,
Yeah, I went on and I was against Issa. He doesn't remember it. Classic. Um, which is fair enough. You don't remember most of the contestants. We did quite well actually. I got like 20,000 or 22,000. Maybe I think I got like 22 or 24,000 maybe. I can't remember in the cash builder. Uh,
right.
and then we got 19 steps. Still got eliminated, bummer. But then they called me when they were doing Beat the Chasers. I don't know how they did this. They must have gone through the archive and seen. But they were like, "Oh, we remembered you from the Chasers like 4 years ago, and we liked you. Would you think about coming on Beat the Chasers?" And then so that was my second time in a TV studio. But that was different because I had a live audience, whereas the Chase doesn't usually have a live audience.
Yeah, right. What was your team like in that first opportunity?
Oh, I remember I had this dude. Like, I had one dude who was like really good, and it was like him and me carrying the team. And then I had one dude who had the attitude that I didn't appreciate, which was, "I'm just here to have fun." And I was like, "I'm here to win, man." And then the third chick was pretty forgettable, but they were fine. And I tried to like tell them before the show, to be like, "Guys, I've done the like analysis of it. This is like our team strategy should be this." Like in the one, and because they're 20, I think the dude, the guy who I thought was pretty good, actually took me seriously and was like, "Okay." But the others just were like waved me off, like, "Shut up," like, "What do you know?" And then hopefully one day they'll watch the chase and they'll remember me and be like, "Oh,
We should have,
with her
yeah,
strategy in the final chase."
man, we could have gotten to 21 and really put the pressure on Issa.
Exactly, exactly. She knew what she was talking about. That was with AOK, who was, this is a bit of a different kettle of fish because he spoke so much faster than Larry speaks. Not necessarily, he doesn't speak more clearly, but he spoke faster. So you get through
Mm.
more questions. So a 19 back then is probably not as competitive as a 19 is now. 19 now, you almost certainly win. Well, you'd be way more likely to win. 19 back then was, the odds were, I did the stats and
Yeah,
I knew that the odds were in our favor, but it was only like 60% probability.
yeah, right. Okay. But and Larry's less likely to burst into an accent while he's delivering a question.
Yeah, Andrew would always be like, "Is this wrong?" It's hard for Larry because you get so many different foreign words, and I
Yeah,
find it hard when he has French words because I speak French, and if he doesn't quite pronounce it right, I'm like, "What did you mean?" Like, you
yeah.
get a bit worried, but he does a really good job of like, and he's got a very solid pace. But I do find a little bit the advantage of being chaser where you can jump in as opposed to if it's a team, they're always buzzing is it's easier to force him to go like you can push a rhythm a bit more because you can
Mm.
jump and you can insist upon yourself in a way. Whereas Larry's like, "Oh, okay," and he's put under a bit more pressure to read quickly. Whereas if it's a team, you don't have the same rhythm because different people are buzzing in at different times.
My AirPods have just given up. So after your AirPods gave up, now my AirPods have given up. So
Okay, I can hear you.
exciting. It's all happening at the same time. Hang on, let me see if I've got. Nah, I thought I had spare AirPods. I will not edit any of this out. Anyway, you can hear me fine?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, good. Uh, so when you did Beat the Chase,
Mhm.
was that against everybody or was it like a number of them?
I think it was against out of four of them.
Right,
I think it was Cheryl, Issa, and I can't remember if it was Bryden or Matt
right.
the third person. But I remember poor Issa. So like I was doing really, to be fair to me, I did brilliantly. I'm brag. But like because you get a head start. And so I was very fast, and I wasn't. Again, I got a really good draw with questions. Like it was stuff I knew or I could guess, and I think I only got one wrong. But poor Issa, he answered a question about Andrei Sakharov wrong, but he took heaps of time to do it. He like jumped in and was like, Andre, and like took like 6 seconds. And for that, for me, I remember thinking, yeah, nice. Shout out Issa. Now they're my friends.
Yeah, that's great. And so
Yeah.
so you win Beat the Chase. How long is it between winning and then them showing some interest in you in possibly being a chaser?
Hmm. So it was October 20. No, it would have been like, yeah, it was it was the best week of my life because I was working in this job that I'll put this nicely. I didn't particularly love.
Right.
Um, and so in the same week, in that one week, I won, won all the money, and then I also got a job offer, to a job I was really keen to go to. And it was a crazy week. I think that would have been September 2020. And then Deb, our old producer, I got all these messages on Facebook from this random woman being like, "Hello, I saw you want to beat the Chasers. I'm from Channel 7 on the Chase. Do you want ITV? Do you want to give me a call?" And I was thinking, it's spam, and I ignored it. And then I got another message on LinkedIn from the same producer. And I think that would have been, it was warm. I reckon that was October. So it was a full year, I think.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
Yeah, yeah. And then you get brought in, and what's the process? They have a chat to you? Uh, do they do they get you to test to see uh, knowledge? Do they try to work out where you're at personality wise? Like what's the first step?
Yeah, so what did they do? So they started, so I'm remembering it a bit better. It was definitely in September because we went on a holiday. They started practicing trivia with me. They like, to be honest, they said they were very keen from the get-go.
Yeah.
Weren't like, oh, we think you could be okay. But we're not sure about your personality.
Yeah.
They were like, they thought the personality was okay. It was more if they thought the trivia would be okay and if it would convert well on TV. So the first step was doing a lot of trivia over the phone, just practicing, like just doing essentially practice FCs, doing once a week, just to get me used to the rhythm of it. And then after I'd done that for a while, I think I then to be honest, I didn't have to do that much. Then the culmination was a screen test where
Yep.
I went on to set with Larry. I wore the same dress that I wore on Beat the Chasers.
Yeah.
Uh, and I remember, so sweet, I remember coming on to set. And so the hair and makeup artist, who I still have on the chase, Lisa, she did my hair and makeup that morning. And she was so sweet to me. She was like, I've just got such a feeling about you. You're going to get it. Like, it's going to be you. And it was so lonely and terrifying to do that. So having someone be like, I believe in you, you're amazing. Actually, before that, I met Larry once before that
Yep.
in Park, and that was doing multiple choice. But then that wasn't, and that was recorded again. But then, yeah, the next time was in set, the screen test. They did that. And then I think over Christmas holidays, there was a bit of a quiet period. And then they came back and they said they were quite pleased and they wanted to move forward. So then wasn't yet confirmed. We had to get a chase name,
Yes.
kind of talk a little bit about the look. And the name was the hardest part, because it's very difficult to have a fun nickname, which is TV appropriate, sufficiently menacing, without being able to be made too much fun of. I've kept the notes if you want me to find the list
Yeah.
of all the ones.
Well, also, one of the tricky things with you is because you're young, I reckon there would have been a lot of people wanting to give you young specific names, and
Yeah.
that's not good because you'll get older, and then suddenly the young specific name doesn't
So
fit.
they talked a lot about that. They wanted, I think I even raised, um, I think I even raised the protege as one, but they said no because they
Yeah,
wanted it to be something I could grow into. And so here, I've got to, because I'm such a lawyer, I kept records of all the phone calls I was having with Channel 7.
amazing.
So I know exactly what they wanted to talk, exactly where I was. And so if I wanted to reflect on it, I knew exactly what they said. So in January 2022, at the end, they said, um, there's three people they're looking at. I'm their favorite. There's someone who's a stronger quizzer, I'm their favorite person.
Yeah.
And they love my approach, good rapport. And then, yeah, so we had Protege, Pink Peril. I
Mm.
didn't like Pink Peril. No.
No, no. No,
Yeah.
that sounds like what you would have found possibly in like a brown paper bag at a newsagent at the top shelf.
I see. I was thinking it sounded like a communicable disease. Um,
Well, but we're both kind of in the same ballpark.
yeah. But I did the screen test and I'm really happy with it. And I think the screen test was in like Feb
Yeah,
22. And then they, but then this is the, so I'd been, because I didn't know what was going to happen with the chase.
yeah,
Like I didn't know what the timeline was. I didn't know, they may well have not wanted me. So I'd been applying to do my master's in the US at I think in April or March, I got accepted into Columbia University in New York, which was very exciting. Um, but then also that week they all said, "Yep, actually you're confirmed. We're going to go ahead with the chase." And it was kind of a blessing in a way because it meant we really sped up the process for me.
yeah,
So they decided that, they were great. They were super accommodating. I didn't have to go to the US until August. So what they said was, let's just film heaps of episodes before you go. We'll just pump them out.
yeah,
And, then you can go do your master's for, a year, 10 months, and then come back and, we'll keep the job for you. And it was great. And they did that. So within the space of about 3 or 4 months, we found an outfit. I had a stylist come over to my house with about 4 clothing racks, and we tried on about 100 outfits. Nothing worked. The one we ended up with, the one on the show, wasn't, sorry to critic, like it wasn't the one I particularly loved.
mm,
It was just the best of all the options, and it looked good. It photographed well on set. And then we just filmed, I think, 18 episodes, just hot boxed. We'd been doing three a day, three a day, three a day, before I left. It was great. And so it
yeah,
was really cool being overseas and watching, on my phone.
yeah, yeah. The costume is the rest of the chases color palette wise look like they're in a Marvel movie, and you look like you're in the new Superman, and it means you really stand out, don't you? Because
Yeah.
it's really noticeable on the who could it be, and each person coming up, and that pink really hits hard.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it's what I wore on Beat the Chasers. When I won, I had this great pink fuchsia silk dress.
right,
And so, and I had worn a headband there. And so when they said, "Do you have any ideas for your costume?" I did say my favorite color is pink. And I like a headband, thinking a bit of, Daphne from Scooby-Doo. And so that they love that. They love the idea of a headband in pink.
yeah,
And so that's where it came from.
yeah,
And it's good, it sticks out, it's different.
yeah.
And people, whenever I wear pink, I get recognized way more.
Oh, really? Yeah, yeah. It all fits in. Do you remember? When we first started working together, there were all ideas from Channel 7 and the production of who they wanted you to be on the
Hmm.
show, which was, I remember pushing back against that
Yeah.
because comedy doesn't really work if it comes from the wrong place.
No,
And
yeah.
that they wanted you, do you remember they kind of wanted you to be harder, they wanted you to be more sarcastic, and they wanted you to be snippy. But the more we hung out, the more I realized that's actually not who you are.
No. And I I find that inauthenticity really, people pick up on it really quickly if
Yeah,
you're not authentic and if things are a bit forced.
yeah,
So yeah, as you say, things got a bit easier when we actually just steered into my personality and steered into things. And that's even, aspects which might not be necessarily sympathetic, like being an Eastern suburbs spoilt kid. But those things are authentic. And so when I was saying that stuff, the laughs are authentic, and being self-aware does a lot,
yeah,
uh, in terms of disarming people and avoiding that critique. But yeah, and I have had a few people say to me, some of the mega fans of the show, that they really they've noticed a difference between the first seasons and the later seasons because I'm
yeah,
a lot more relaxed and
yeah.
more authentic.
Which, it just comes with time, and it comes with working together. Do you remember the line that unlocked your character? Because I do.
I don't. I think I remember you mentioning it before, but I can't remember exactly what it was. Was it
Yeah.
like a thing or?
Yeah, I remember we were sitting together because they kind of wanted you to be a bit harsher, and I was like,
But Australians hate, people do not
they don't
like
like
Anne
it.
gets away with it because she's so established.
Yes.
But Australians do not like harsh people. Like it's a bit of a tall poppy thing, I think, but also
Yeah, but it just also wasn't really working because you're more enthusiastic. You're more
yeah, to be there.
excited to be there. So I remember, uh, for people who don't know how we work, like nobody knows that you're going to be on the show. Like that's a legitimate thing at the start of the show. Nobody knows who the chaser is, and
And yeah, my favorite joke on set until they stopped me letting me do it is because you have to climb upstairs to
oh
get
yeah,
to like the platform.
yeah,
And I thought it'd be really funny. I always make like just make clunk,
yeah,
clunk, clunk, clunk as I climbed up. So they think
yeah,
it was like the beast or Goliath or something. And then
yeah.
like
But they sound like big heels.
yeah. But they said that it messed with the sound system.
It also messes with the sound system. Yeah, it's so funny. You're so petite, but you can sound like you're walking like a wharfie. So it's it's quite funny. But I remember Larry was interviewing a guy about who was talking about his mates and how they get together and they compare craft beers.
Yeah, yeah,
And
I
he
remember
wrote
this.
the line for you, which was, do you remember it?
Yeah, it was like yeah, well, me and my friends do the same thing, you know? We love to sit down and compare Swiss ski resorts, something to that effect,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You were like, your friends get together and compare craft beers. I get together with my friends and compare Swiss chalets that I stayed at over
Yeah, there
summer.
you go. That's
And then
it.
I remember we got you to look at Larry and flick your hair back and say, I'm totally relatable. And then from that
Yeah.
moment, we were good to go.
Mm, absolutely.
Um, what's been the most, I feel like I have an answer for this, but I want to know what your answer is. What's been the most annoying thing that you've had to learn? Because you've got all your interests, and then there's
Oh,
things
in
that
terms of
even if
their topics or
well,
skill sets for the show?
topic,
Two different
topic.
answers. Because I was ready to go for skill sets. It's
Oh
like
yeah, well, give me
remembering
your.
the numbers.
Oh yeah,
I always have to have, am I allowed to say?
sure.
Is it revealing? Well, so obviously I have the numbers for the top and bottom offer before
Yeah.
I come on set. Contrary to popular belief from all the conspiracy theorists, I don't have any earpieces on the show.
Oh
I'm just sitting out of lip. So no one can tell me what the numbers are. No one can pass any messages to me. People
yeah,
have to physically come and tell me. And it's important because it ensures that I can't get any form of assistance. So when I walk on, I'll be ready to go. I'll have spent so much time focusing on like, the killer line I'm about to deliver. I'm like, hi, hi Susan, I hear you like skiing. Hope you enjoy going downhill fast. Um, and then they'll say, Larry will go, top offer, bottom offer looks like this. And then the amount of times it's just the panic sets in. And I go, and then you just guess the number. You go,
yeah.
1,000. And then nothing happens. And then you go, 2,000. Nothing.
Three
And then
thousand.
some poor little producer will have to run over and go, it's 2,500. Yeah.
Yeah,
2,500. That's the
yeah,
hardest part, remembering those numbers.
yeah,
Like the stress of the final chase is hard. That's
yeah.
hard. It's
Of
it's
course.
stressing. It's not my money, and obviously, like, I get to do it multiple times, but it's still very stressful because, you want to be good at your job.
Well, it's this is the thing that's underestimated, which is it's adrenaline, and once
Oh,
adrenaline
so much.
rises, it's hard not to get caught up in it. But getting back to topics, because I'm sure there's been topics where you've looked at it and thought, I don't really know that much about it, but once you start getting into it, it's fun to
Mm.
get into. But what are the topics that you look at and you go, oh, this is a bummer?
So, like, I don't have like, I guess I did science in high school, and but I don't have a particular interest in science. But science is actually not bad because it's only a limited number of things that they're actually going to ask you about. So,
Hmm.
like, learning the periodic table of elements, like, that's pretty easy. You can do that, go on Sporkle, you can memorize it. Learning Nobel Prize winners, yeah, you can memorize it. Like, they're not going to actually ask you anything that deep because it's not, the Chase is a question heavy show as opposed to a depth heavy show.
Hmm.
So that's actually not that bad because you can learn it. The hard one is stuff that's in the cultural zeitgeist, which you're not around for, and
Hmm.
you can't, there's no list. So what I mean for that is like movies are okay because they'll always be Oscar, like Oscars. You can look at the Oscar winners and they're not going to ask about like quite a niche movie from the 1980s. They're probably going to ask about movies which did really well in the 1980s. So you may well have seen them, or people have talked about them, or they've remained in the cultural memory. What is really, really hard is music from back then, which wasn't extremely popular and which didn't like have massive achievements because that's all lived memory. Like
Mm.
the people at home who know it from their lived memory. It's not like recorded
Yeah.
down. And that I find that really, really hard to like it's impossible to learn. Like you essentially would just have to spend all day listening to playlists of
Yeah.
and again, I'm not saying the ghost here, it's like, AC/DC, easy. Like that's so, well into this day. Bon Jovi, all those classics which are still relevant, easy to learn. It's the
Mm.
ones which haven't been big hits, but which people remember the song and like, oh, I
Yeah.
remember that song. I liked that song in 1984.
Yeah.
That's the hardest for me.
Yeah, yeah, and as you said, like if they haven't won a Grammy, or if they were just a part of the Zeitgeist, and a big part of the Zeitgeist, but for only 7 years, it's hard
Absolutely.
to pinpoint that 7 years to be able to tap into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good work with
That's a
the segue as well, by the way, of movies. That's what we've actually gotten you on the podcast for, because one of the things you and
I'm a
I
TV
do,
now.
mate, you are a natural. It's coming. You'll be hosting before too
Yeah.
long.
Right.
But we talk movies all the time, and one of the things we're getting towards the end of the year, I'll be doing my favorite films, TV shows, books at the end of the year, as I always do. But I thought it'd be fun to get people in to tell me what their favorite films were, what their favorite TV shows were, what their favorite books. We talk movies all the time. You go to the cinema quite a bit, and I thought it'd be
Mm.
fun to find out which films hit you the hardest this year and also why. Now, I have no idea what your list is, and I don't even know
Okay.
if I've seen all of them, and I don't know if you've put them. Sorry.
I suspect I'd be surprised if you had.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to this, and I'm also curious. Have you done them in a descending order? Have ascending? Have you, or are you just
I
going to
was
talk
going to
about
do
them?
a countdown 5 to 1.
Okay, great. All right. Well, why don't you hit me with your fifth favorite film of the year?
Okay, but I'm going to do a little bit of an intro to it.
Absolutely.
So sometimes a movie just catches you at the exact right time, and that's what can make it so good and so impactful. So I had a really horrible day at work. I had something quite, and this is my day job, not the chase.
All
Justin
right.
didn't yell at me. And I was actually given the afternoon off because of this upsetting thing that happened. So I was like, oh, what am I going to do with myself? I feel a bit all a bit shook up. I was like, you know what? I'll just go to the movies. I'll just go to the movies. And so I went to Entertainment Board. I was the only person in the cinema. And I saw this movie and it just made me feel so good. It was so fun. It's Freakier Friday.
Oh, yes.
Much like, much like The Godfather 2, it is
Yep.
better than the original. It improves on a lot of the potholes in the original. It's I don't know, it's just very fun, very light, but it kind of added a level of depth that wasn't necessarily there in the first movie. And body swap movies are always fun. They're
Right.
always fun. Like,
And they've been a staple for a long time as well. They've been around for a long time. Jamie Lee Curtis is on a heater. Like she's just
yeah.
like kicking goals left, right, and center. It's like she can't appear on anything and not be fantastic. And
So Lindsay Lohan was also really good.
I was going to say,
People always forget she's not like she's a good actress.
yes, yes.
She took a break to run a beach club in Mykonos. Doesn't mean she can't act.
Yes. Well, people. She showed so much promise as a young actor. Then she got sidetracked, had her issues, and hopefully something like this will bring her back into the mainstream. A little
Yeah.
bit older, a little bit more mature. Hopefully, has a better foundation and support group, and she'll start making interesting films again.
Maybe, but like also, I think people are so weird on celebrities because they're like, oh, like, there's a feels the need that they have to keep staying on top of their game. They have to keep
Mm.
making good movies. But like, Liz Owen's made so much money.
Mm.
Like, she just wants to make fun movies. She knocks it out of the park. Like, she's great at like when she was a kid, she clearly had the acting chops. But now, if she's just going to do Freaky Friday and other fun stuff,
Yeah.
go for it. Go for it.
Well,
She's very fun, very good physical comedy as well.
yes. Yes,
Um,
remarkable physical. And you know what? If Lindsay wants to make the fun stuff, we've got Emma Stone making the weird stuff. So, everything's got a nice little
great
balance
head
there.
dominating the market. So
Yeah.
that's number 5. I think that was a good
Okay,
one.
that's good. I did not see that, and that's a fun one to bring up. All right, number four.
This one is the exact opposite of Freakier Friday. Well, actually, no, it wasn't the exact opposite. I've got a more of an opposite one, but I really, really liked it. All right, I've got to find I wrote some notes on it because I wanted to make sure I did a good job for your podcast. This is what makes me a good chaser. What did I delete it? Oh well, it's okay. In any event, um, this was a movie which, like, it was so sparse on plot. Like, you had very little detail. It was probably the simplest movie in this list, but it was very, 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 very impactful. So the movie is The Long Walk, the
Oh,
adaptation
right.
of the
Yes.
Stephen King movie. Yeah. And it was just absolutely amazing. Like, oh, I've got my notes. Okay,
Yeah.
don't worry. So, for those who don't know about it, it is essentially a like kind of an alternate history, alternate future, where there was a civil war in America, the country's in economic turmoil. And so what they do is they make, well, teenagers can put their hands up to go into the draw to do this televised event called The Long Walk, where essentially they start in Maine and these kids walk for as long as possible. And if they fall below the specified time for, I think more than 30 seconds, essentially they're shot in the head. So bummer of a proposition. But the thing about this movie, which is super weird, is like in contrast to like The Hunger Games or Divergent or other post-apocalyptic televised teen competition films, they are like they don't bother telling you that much about the world outside of the event. They're like, yeah, there's a civil war. You don't need to know about it. Yeah, there's like doesn't seem great. You don't need to know about it. It's just the war. It's so intense. And these poor kids, the worst part about it is they have like the most unergonomic setups. They're all in like kind of like 1960s outfits, but like there's no North Face backpacks. They're all like satchels, which look like they'd really hurt, and like Converses, no comfy shoes. I felt really bad for them. And it reminds me, you know who that guy, name Ned Brockhoff, the dude
No.
who ran around Australia.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
It's like a really messed up version of that. Anyway, but it's a really good movie. Oh, and it has the most random casting. Like in my list of the movies I saw, it had the most out of pocket casting, which was uh, the villain. And again, the villain is completely, you don't even know his proper name, no backstory. He's just kind of this random dude faceless who just shoots people on the head. Mark Hamill. Mark
Oh,
Hamill. So
wow.
weird. Yeah.
That's
Anyway,
great.
but point being,
That's and also has Philip
it
Seymour
was so
Hoffman's
random.
son as well. Oh,
Yeah, he was really, really good.
yeah, yeah,
He was amazing. The other guy whose name escapes me, I can't remember his name, but the two main male leads. So the reason why this movie was just amazing, it honestly blew me away. It was a bit upsetting, but it's essentially just dealing these two people, well, all these boys, like how do you keep your humanity in circumstances which are inhumane? Like
right.
how are you going to still be who you are? How are you still going to be a good person? Still going to be true to yourself when you're just in these horrific circumstances. And it was just so moving.
Yeah,
Like everyone else who was seeing the 10 a.m. session on a Monday morning with me were in tears. It was
yeah.
just a phenomenal movie. So I really, really liked it. Bit depressing, but just great movie about friendship.
Yeah, right. Interesting that you have Stephen King story come out with The Long Walk, and then I think in a couple of weeks we have the opposite of that. We have The Running Man coming out with Edgar Wright directing and Glenn Powell.
So I do have some extra categories for the end, and one of them is movies that probably would have made the list if I had been able to see them, but I
Yeah,
really want to see them, and I think amazing. And Running Man is one that I'm so excited to see.
yeah. I'm hopeful for that as well. I think it's a fun trailer. I like Edgar Wright, and he always does something interesting. And Glenn Powell's immensely watchable, so I'm up for all of that.
Where's out of the Wahoo? Have you seen Screen Queens?
No, no, I haven't.
Look up to all the listeners who want to see and just the, the perfect example of an actor perfectly suited for role, just nailing it 10 out of 10 every single scene he's in. Glenn Powell as Chad Radwell in Screen Queens is like the most breakout. I can't think of a more breakout performance. He's just absolutely phenomenal. I really rate Glenn Powell, and when he's in a role which is in his wheelhouse, he puts his whole Glen C out there. He's amazing.
Yeah, no, I think he's great as well. Looking forward to hopefully seeing him get some more opportunities to do some slightly broader mainstream roles, but he's good. All right, that's a good one. What's number three?
So good. Number three, it's one of the rare movies that I saw it. It was really good, and I will absolutely never watch it again. It's a French movie called The Story of Solomon,
Right,
and it's about this. Oh gosh, I apologize. He's from a West African country. I think he's Ghanaian. And please correct me if I'm wrong. And he's in France, and he works as essentially a delivery driver on a bicycle. And it's like a week in his life. And at the end of the week is his immigration interview because he's applied for refugee status in
right,
France. And it's just this really intense week of, he's trying to make orders. Someone steals, someone hits him with a car. The way that he's got this delivery app is that he's bought someone else's account, so he has to pay them rent. He's also got this guy he's paying money to this guy to essentially coach him as to what to say in the interview so that he can get his ref. And it's just tense from start to finish. But it was a really good movie. It's a part of France that you don't normally see depicted in cinema. It's a life that you don't normally see depicted in cinema, and it's so anxiety inducing. So every morning he wakes up in the homeless shelter. He has to call to book his spot for the next night. And so it's just this daily grind for him of like calling the homeless shelter, trying to make orders, people being rude, people not paying, and then trying to prepare for his interview, and it's just very claustrophobic, somewhat uncomfortable, but a brilliant film. And if you're going to watch a French film, I saw it in the French Film Festival.
yeah,
If you're going to want to watch a French film this year, you're a bit bummed out. Story of Solomon. I
yeah.
think the guy in it might have won an actor. He totally deserved it.
Yeah, I think if for people who haven't seen it, I think it's available on possibly Mubi if they have access to that. Underrated app, that one. You know what? There are movies that even fun films. There are movies that you should just see once, and you have a good time, or you have an experience, or whatever it is, and you really don't need to engage with it again.
Yeah, it's not like a pleasurable viewing experience necessarily in the way that other movies are. It's not like a feel good film that you're going to turn back to again and again. But it was great.
All right, that's another good
Oh, I apologize, my
suggestion.
computer's
Uh,
freezing
give
up
me
a little
number
bit.
two.
Okay, so number two, and I'm sure a lot of the film bros at home are going to be like, "What? Why isn't this number one? This is the best movie ever." So I think you know exactly where I'm going with that one. It's one battle after another.
Yeah.
Good movie. I really liked it. So what was I going to say about it? All right. More plot happens in the first 20 minutes of that film than in most movies. Like the first 20 minutes, I was like, where is this going from here? They've told us everything that could possibly happen. Is there anything left? And then it just kept going, which was, super impressive. The the thing I found really hard though in the first 20 minutes is I think I had my viewing experience might be different to other people's. And look, I don't think this is set in like exact modern America. It's clearly appears to be somewhat more militarized. There's these Christmas adventurers who control. But in one of the opening scenes, they're trying to blow up the courthouse, and I'm like, I work in the courthouse. Why are you trying to fuck? Like, screw you guys. It's not nice to blow up. So I was a bit again because my job is involves dealing with victims of crime. When they're holding up all the people in the bank and holding up the security and lecturing them on their revolutionary ideals, I was thinking about all these studies about the post-traumatic stress that people get when they're held up in bank robberies and how it can affect them for them. And I was thinking, you guys suck. Like all those people being held up, they're probably going to be traumatized. Like, and so my approach, like, look, obviously I didn't like the crazy American military dudes, but I was a bit like, oh, like guys are kind of assholes. Like you guys are jerks, and they're lecturing people about freeing them while they're like making them cower in fear on the floor. I was like, you guys suck. And anyway, so that for
That
me
is
made it when I talk. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, well, I was going to say that's kind of there is criticism of them as well. Do you know what I mean? Like there is criticism across the board of how everyone is doing something. So that's not necessarily the wrong reaction.
No, no, but it's interesting when I talk to other people about the movie. Some of the people have said like, oh, it ends with so much hope because she continues, she goes through the protests and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't like. Well, I really liked the movie, but it didn't like I didn't watch it in the way that there was like I obviously sympathized with the ultimate girl dad in Leonardo DiCaprio. And that plot line, those people probably had a lot more sympathy for me. But well, yeah, it's interesting, like the moral grayness of it all. I found fascinating. You know the scene? Have you ever? Well, I don't know if you've been to Disneyland, but if
I
any of our
have.
listeners have, oh, have you been to the new Cars ride
No, no,
at?
not the new one. No.
Yeah, so it's a new Cars ride. So that scene where they're doing, up and down on the road. I swear to God, Google the Cars Ride Disneyland viewing experience and put it's shot by shot. They've
Oh,
just
right.
ripped off the Cars Ride, but it was very, very good cinema. What's her name? Chase Infinity is obviously very, very, very good.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm sure she'll be doing heaps of stuff now. And
Yeah.
Leonardo funny. I like seeing him do funny.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you bring your own relationship to life to the film. For me, the movie ended perfectly because I'm also a Gen X guy who was probably more militant when he was younger and now just trying to work out how to take a selfie. So, it all ends up relating to everyone on different levels. That's a good one for number two, though.
Yeah, as I say, the scene where he's trying to get the location was probably the funniest few minutes of cinema this year.
Oh, mate.
He was like, "What time is it?"
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, that tells you the generation gap right there. We used to do something one way, and you know what? I can't relate, and I'm going to smash this phone. So yeah, there was a lot of relatable stuff in there for me. All right, I'm gonna. I have a feeling I know what's going to be number one, but that's only through stuff that we have discussed. But hit me with it.
Yeah. Number one, honestly, I this is the best movie ever. It pisses me off so much that's not going to win Best Picture because everyone wants one battle after another to win because it's more, fancy pants and pretentious. And people do not like vampire movies. But Sinners was so good. It was amazing. I watched it on the plane on my mobile phone, which is a sign of how good it was. And I was blown away watching it on my tiny, tiny screen. I was like, this is the best movie I've ever seen. And the way that this movie made me feel lasted way longer than the runtime of one battle after another. Like I was thinking about this movie for like weeks and weeks after I kept thinking about it. Like I was watching YouTube clips of like the scenes that I loved so much. Like the scene with the music when I apologize, the music in the barn and it's bringing back like ancestors and
Hmm.
oh my God, it hit me so hard. And I think, well, look, maybe I'm biased because I like vampire movies, but this isn't even a vampire movie. Like the vampires are kind of like a plot device,
Hmm.
and they don't really come in until halfway through, and that's perfect
Hmm.
because all the other aspects of the movie are so interesting anyway. Michael B. Jordan is absolutely phenomenal. The fact that he hasn't won an Oscar is just nonsense. He just not play. This is the best twin performance since Lindsay Lohan in Parent Trap. He does so well. They have
There,
different personalities. They're super distinct. I loved it.
Yeah, I think it is remarkable that you literally know which twin it is at any given moment, and it's not over the top. It's not like he's given a lesser actor would have given one twin a limp or something, or they're just these little subtle differences. So any scene, you know exactly who's talking to who, and then just also Coogler's ability to create a scene and through technology, like the rolling of a cigarette and handing it over is so seamless that between that and the performance, you do actually, after a very short amount of time, buy in. These are two different people.
Hmm. Oh, absolutely. They give you a little bit of a hint at the beginning. One of them wears red and the other one wears blue, but you don't need it. He does such
Yeah.
a good job.
Yeah,
I'm st-
it's good early on to kind of help people get on board. Do you know what I mean? And sort of see where it is. But he kind of lets everything go. What was it about it that affected you so much emotionally?
so like I loved I love the use of music in it.
Mm,
It used music in a way which is incredibly powerful. So, and because central to the idea is music connects us, music gives us a sense of identity, and music can go beyond our, kind of plane of existence, so to speak. But they didn't just say that. They
mm,
didn't just say that music has this power. They showed you how music has this power in a way which a lot of films don't do. It's even if they're films about music. I also really, I think again, people think vampires are so trite and boring and they're just two-dimensional. But the kind of overarching theme for the vampires, like in the deep set, was, well, applying vampires to that context was really powerful because it talks about the idea of freedom, talks about the idea of finding your own autonomy, in circumstances where Black people in the South didn't have those options. But it reminded me of Like when I watched Parasite at the Sydney
mm,
Film Festival in 2019. I
mm.
remember being out with my friends and just going like, all of us just been like, whoa, like I don't know what it was,
Yeah,
but just something just penetrated deep, reverberating inside of you. I don't know if I can even put my finger on it, but just watching it, I just went boom, like, oh, like that's for me the last time I had that sense of wow, I'm just in shock was Parasite in 2019. I just loved it. And it makes me, and I'm a bit bummed that's not going to be Best Picture because for me, Sinners is like on another planet.
yeah.
Like it's on the space shuttle. Like, it's a gal, it's Challenger,
Well,
uh,
hopefully not Challenger.
hopefully not Challenger. It's, how about that? It's Cassini. It's orbiting Jupiter.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I love it.
it was so good. And also, what was really good as well, like the different cultural music. So the dude
Mm,
from Skins, whose name I can't remember, who was the Irish vampire,
yes.
he did this great like random Irish dance in the middle. You know what it was reminding me a little bit of? Oh brother, where art thou?
Mm, yeah. Yeah,
Like
the
that kind of
bluegrass.
vibe, the bluegrass influence. It was. I want to watch it again. Now I'm talking about it. I just want to go watch it.
I'll be honest with you. You were talking about it, and I was starting to think, I wonder if I can squeeze in a session tonight because I haven't. I saw it a couple of times at the cinema, and it's. I don't know if you could probably see, but it's back there on 4K.
Yeah.
So I
It,
immediately bought it.
it was, and it's just beautifully shot as well. Like
Yeah,
it's beautifully shot. And I really like the colors are so vivid, the experience is so vivid. And I love the post. Am I spoiling it? I don't want to spoil it.
go for it.
Okay, spoiler alert. But I just love the coda and all the actors were so good. They were all
Yeah,
so good.
yeah.
When Michael B. Jordan and what's her name from True Grit, Haley
Haley
Steinfeld,
Steinfeld. Yeah,
they go back and speak to, the cousin who's now an old man.
yeah,
And Michael B. Jordan is like, that was the last best day of my life. It was the last time I saw my brother, and that
yeah,
just the last sunset. It's just so beautifully done, like so tasteful, and it just had such emotional depth to it. Even though
yeah.
again, people often write off vampire movies as being silly or being trite, and I'm just like, oh, last time I saw a sunset, you appreciate the tragedy of it all as well, in a way by which normally we just take vampires as like a joke.
Yeah.
So,
Well, also getting blues legend Buddy Guy to play that character, it adds a real life poignancy to that scene as well.
and the music, like the singing was just, who was super good? The guy who played like Cornbread, the little
Mm,
harmonica dude.
mm,
That every single person in that movie was like, I'm going to nail it. I'm
yeah,
going to come on set and just nail it. Like they all hit it out of the park. Irish dude from Skins, clock.
yeah,
Like Michael Jordan, like double clock. Haley Steinfeld. I haven't seen her movie, kind of the last movie I saw with her. She clocked it out of the park. Cornbread dude, amazing. Just how could just it's very rare you get a movie where everyone in the cast is so on it.
yeah.
Actually, on that note, it's on a really random watching one battle after another. That opening scene where the naughty captain is like getting aroused by what's her name?
Yeah.
Perfidia Beverly Hills. Phenomenal name. Equal with Jungle Pussy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I remember thinking, oh gosh, who's this actor? This poor actor. He's probably thinking this is his big break, and he's got to start this movie with a really humiliating scene. This is so rough for this. And then as the movie went on and he became a bit more, I was thinking, this is a really good break for this guy. His performance is really, really good. Like that stupid little walk he does. Like, what great character acting. And then the credits rolled and it was Sean Penn.
You
I was
didn't
like,
realize, didn't even write until the end.
to the end, I was thinking, this guy's doing, I'm really pleased with him. This will be his big break because he's really nailing this part.
Well, maybe it'll be his big break for a whole new generation. Maybe you're not incorrect. Yeah.
True. He did a good
Uh,
job.
well, that's great, Mara. That is five really broad films, and I appreciate you putting so much time and thought into it. Hey, we should let you go, but where can people find you online?
Oh, I'm verified on Instagram. Humble
Yes.
brag. Mara Legends. Yeah, that's it. Don't add, you can add me on LinkedIn if you want to be weird, but otherwise just go for Instagram. This has been so much fun. Oh,
Yeah.
can I do my I did briefly have the best joke in a movie.
Oh,
Quick.
yeah. Tell me your other categories.
Okay, thank you. I was just so excited. I was so flattered that Justin asked me this podcast. Didn't want to do a bad job.
No, no, it's been great.
Okay, I'll do rapid fire. Most disappointing film, and I'm sorry about this, but Eddington. I was really excited to see it, and it was
Oh,
just
yeah.
wasn't didn't go where I wanted it to. But look, it was still fine. I just thought it was gonna be the best movie ever. Best character death. The dude from Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, who had been like the antagonist for multiple films, and you were thinking he's gonna have some big glamorous death, and he just gets his head eaten by a plane rotor. It's really funny. Sexiest Robert Pattinson is Mickey 21 in Mickey 17. I really
Yeah.
liked having the sub Dom Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Very best the Renesmee Cullen Award for the creepiest CGI baby. This is obviously named after Renesmee Cullen from Twilight, who is horrifying.
Yeah.
Um, Fantastic Four Space Baby. Have you
Yeah.
seen them?
Yeah.
What I mean, it is a horrifying baby. Disgusting. Okay, best best joke of the year. This is a really good one. It's such a funny joke that I put it because I work in criminal law. I put it on the whiteboard outside of my office, and I've had multiple people tell me how funny it is. It's from The Naked Gun. Liam Neeson is reading someone's criminal record, and he goes while they're interviewing a suspect, and he goes, "20 years for man's laughter must have been quite the joke."
That was a very funny joke.
Yeah, so that was my extra categories. That
Yeah.
joke killed it at my work. Absolutely killed it. Thank
That's a very funny joke in a movie that had lots of funny jokes too.
Very funny movie. We went to the premiere and you were there too, and it was very,
Yeah.
very. I was honestly thinking about having it top five, but just didn't quite sneak in. It's in my list of honorable mentions.
Yeah. What do you have do you want to give us the other honorable mentions?
Oh, Superman, obviously. I
Mhm.
thought it was very good, very optimistic, really nice. Mickey 17, I love Robert Pattinson. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 2. They're very good movies. And the last one, I watched it really recently and found it so funny. Bryden and I actually, one of the other chasers and I, both watched it and both really, 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 really enjoyed it. Which normally I don't really do for the shitty Amazon movies, but Deep Cover.
Oh, okay.
Really, really fun. It's like it's about improv, some improv actors who get recruited by the police in London to, just to do something really minor, but buy cigarettes from a black market seller. But then because of yes and they somehow yes and themselves into a much bigger scheme. It's really silly. It's got Nick Mohammed from Ted Lasso and The
Yeah.
Trader. Um, what's her name? The triple banger chick who's with the red hair. Um,
Uh,
Orlando Bloom is in it. He's so funny. Orlando Bloom
right.
is a funny actor. It's they have great. I remember I wrote down one of the lines in the movie, "Clowning is an art." But I laughed out loud so many times watching it. I really enjoyed Naked Gun, but I
Yeah.
think I actually found that movie to be funnier,
Oh, okay. All right.
which is
Well,
the
because
biggest
I
reason.
hear the word improvisers and I go running, but you've sold me.
But it makes a lot of fun of them, and I
Yeah.
guess it's because I also don't. I'm not as amenable to slapstick as I
Right.
am other people might be. But again, I still really enjoyed Naked Gun.
Right. That's great. Mara, you've been fantastic. We'll have to get you back on and we'll do some more movie talk.
Please do.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you to Mara for being my guest today. She was great, wasn't she? I reckon we should get her back in on a regular basis to talk films. It's always nice to have someone who is passionate and also examines why they've loved something. And that's what I appreciated with the films that she brought to the podcast today. What else can I tell you? Over at Substack, I am writing quite a bit actually. I've started a memoir called One Foot in the Spotlight, which recounts my career, which took place or started back in 1994. There are a bunch of chapters of that up, and there is also the free blog, which originally started off on my website. It is Dispatches from the Fury Road. So if you would like to have more writing and that kind of work from me, head over to Substack and you can sign up there. Also, if you would like to be able to have access to bonus podcasts and live shows, etc., my Patreon website has a whole bunch of stuff there as well. So you can head over there and you can find a tier that suits you and you can sign up. And also, at the end of the year, I'm going to be performing in Brisbane for the first time in a decade with a solo show. I'm going to be performing at Good Chat. The show is called Gen X Marks the Spot, and that will be at the beginning of December. So if you would like to either access the Substack, the Patreon, or find out about the gigs that I'm doing, head to my website, justinhamilton.com.au, and under stuff, you will find all of the stuff. That's why I called it stuff. Couldn't call it content. Would have to set myself on fire if I called it that. But you can find a whole lot there, including the YouTube channel that is very much in the beginning stages, but hopefully the goal is over the Christmas break is to finally upload some stand up there and extra little bonus bits and pieces for you. Okay. Thank you for joining in. I said tomorrow let's aim for a 20-minute podcast. So when it's 30, we'll be happy at 45. I think we came in just under an hour. So yeah, I know how this show works. So there you go. Oh, actually, while I think about it, if you're not listening to TOEFOP, I'm on a whole lot of episodes for all of October. Will and I recorded a whole lot of episodes. And you can find me over there as well. So much stuff going on. A lot. Hopefully it's not too much of me. I wouldn't be offended if you said, yeah, I need a little break. You're giving me too much. What are you going to do? All right. Thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to catching up with you again soon. Until then.